Hi everyone, I'm Ming, and today I'll be showing you how a master admin can assign permissions to users in their organizations. So as a master admin or an IBX admin, you can assign permissions to users in your organizations through the administration tab. So through administration, you can navigate the user management. And through this, you can view all the users who in your organization. And through the ellipse button, you can manage the permissions for any users. By clicking on this Manage Permission page, it will bring you to a page which displays all the permission tiles in ECP. And in this page of permission tiles, you can choose the permissions that you want to assign to any particular user. If a user is not assigned any permissions, the user will not be able to do anything on ECP. So all actions on ECP are determined by whether the user has the access permissions or not. In administration and IBX access services, this permission governs administrator privileges as well as IBX access services. For example, like work visit, conference room booking, as well as tour requests. You can make a user and another administrator if you are a master admin. As a master admin, you can select this user to be another administrator or an IBX admin. If you select another user as a master administrator, immediately you will notice that all permission checkboxes are assigned, because as a master admin, you will be by default assigned all permissions under your organization. If I click submit, these changes will be saved, and if your organization is big, it may take a few minutes for all permissions to be assigned. After I've done so, you will have noticed that permissions have been granted for almost all permissions. Other than permissions that are not implicitly granted. For example, Internet Exchange, Equinix Connect, Equinix Fabric, IBX Smart View, Remote Network Products, Co-location Ordering, and Managed Services Portal. All other IBX related permissions will be assigned. Okay. So as a master admin, you can assign users permissions even if you may not have the permissions yourself. So as a user, how can you view your own permissions? As a user, you can navigate to your profile page. And through your profile page, there is a permissions tab. In this permissions tab, it will only show you permissions that you have been assigned for. So for a user who has no ordering permissions assigned, they would not see this card. But for in this instance, this user has many permissions assigned. So this user is seeing many different type of permission cards. If I would go into one to show you, you would notice that by viewing a user's permissions through the user profile, the permissions are only in view-only mode and cannot be edited. Only a master admin or IBX admin can edit the permissions via the administration tab. So for this user, because this user is a master admin, this user doesn't need to request for additional permissions that they don't have. A master admin can edit his or her own permissions through the administration tab. Now I'm going to log out and I will log in as a normal user to show you how a normal user can request for permissions through ECP if they require the permissions and they don't have it assigned to them. Now I've logged in as a normal user. So a normal user does not have access to the administration tab, so they cannot edit their own permissions. If they want to look at their own permissions, they can only go to my profile page and navigate to my permissions page. Through here, all permissions that they have are in view only mode and they cannot edit it. If they require additional permissions, they can request for additional permissions through this button here. By clicking on this, they can request the ordering permissions from any master administrator or IBX administrator in their organization. They can simply do this by clicking an add button. And this email is selected. And you can choose to email this master admin. So it will send an email requesting for these additional permissions to your master admin, and the master admin will then assign the permissions to you. Okay. So this is for user permissions.